Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ron Wallace here with Balling Down South Sports Network. My next guest is a native from Mississippi, New Albany, Mississippi. Graduated from Ole Miss, coached at Olive Branch, Mississippi, at Center Hill High School. Held different coaching positions at the high school level. He's over at Robertsdale High School right now, coaching their high school varsity boys football team. Let me introduce you to none other than Coach Kyle Stafford. How you doing, Coach?
Pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good, Coach. We got a little rain in today. Did you guys get any training in today at all?
We did. We got in before the rain. We were out this morning. We just got through getting it rain. Looks like we're gonna get a little bit more, but we were fortunate enough to get our work in this morning, and looking forward to getting back to it tomorrow.
Now, Coach, I was trying to do a little research on you. Talk a little bit about yourself so the people know exactly who we got on the network today.
Well, you hit a lot of it in the intro. Like I said, I'm from New Albany, Mississippi. That's about 30 minutes east of Oxford, Mississippi. Grew up there. I've been around a little bit. I started out at Center Hill High School. That was a brand new school when I first started there, and had the opportunity to go with my head coach there to Northwest Rankin High School, where in Jackson, where I was the defensive coordinator there. Before I'd left Center Hill, I was the offensive coordinator. Then had the opportunity to go work for a friend of mine who was with us at Center Hill at 6A school in DeSoto County called DeSoto Central High School. And then my last 3 years before I came here, I had the opportunity to go be the defensive coordinator at Olive Branch, and I had some really good years there. I feel like I've been on all sides of it. I feel like offensively and defensively, but not only that, been one of those things where I was at a program where we were just from the ground up, and then I've been at two programs I consider, powerhouses in that state, and then one that we were on the transition of. So I feel like I'm well rounded in that, and been a part of some big wins and been a part of some bad losses. But I think the wins outweigh the losses, and I feel like I've had a good experience that led me to this job.
Well, we're in the stage and the area in the time of the pandemic right now. How's that new baby and how's the family doing?
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good. She's 14 months old, so we slept more when she was 3 months old. So she's definitely active, and we obviously we've been here a year, but we have actually got our home now. We built a home in Robertsdale, and that's what we wanted when we took this job. We wanted to be a part of this community and give this community some stability. And I'm a firm believer in when you're involved in the community, the program's going to follow. And we've dove into this community, and the community has embraced us. And I couldn't ask for anything better than the community of city of Robertsdale, city of Loxley. There's so many that go into this. It's not the perception is it's just Robertsdale, and our city does a great job with that and supporting us. But we also have Silver Hill, we also have Loxley, we also have Rosington and Elsinore, and I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but it's a central Baldwin community. And that's really what I'm focusing on, is getting these guys unified and to make the high school program the best it can be.
Well, now I know you just had your first season last year, and everything was a little rocky. But what have you been doing, in the meantime, to try to make sure you have a successful second season?
Well, the biggest thing I think in any program is the program's culture. And I know that's a very broad word this day and time. Everybody focuses on their culture, but to me, the culture is built primarily in that weight room and in the off season. And I think we took great strides in not only our culture but our work ethic. And I saw some changes in our kids. I saw some big changes in our kids. The thing is now, we've got to keep that rolling, and it's got to translate on the field. And I know that we're not going to turn this thing around in a year, maybe not even 2 years, but piece by piece we will. And I think our kids are buying into it. And like you said, we do live in the age of the pandemic, and for a program that we're trying to get off, it has been difficult during this, because we didn't see our kids for 3 months, just like everybody else has. But when we're trying to establish this culture, I think that did present another challenge. But our kids have been great. I couldn't ask for anything better. We've grown our team. I think we've made some good staff hires this year and are continuing on some more. And, I think the future is bright, but it is going to take time, but it's got to be done the correct way. And I think we are the correct way. We've done some things in the community with our youth programs a little bit different. We've got a new junior high coach who is from here and is going to be a great over there. And that's where it starts. It doesn't start with me and this varsity staff when they're a varsity player. It starts when they are – in the youth league. It starts when they're in the junior high. We've got to build that culture from the ground up.
And you're the first coach I heard say that before I had to ask it, because that was going to be my next question. Are you going to get a chance to go over to the middle school and watch those kids play, and also
absolutely
the city league?
Absolutely. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. I try to be involved as much as I can. Obviously, I can't go to everything because I'm the head coach here and the athletic director here, and I also have a family at home that deserves my attention as well. But, yeah, I do. I try to get over to the middle school and walk those halls a couple times a week. And this year, me and my wife were at every single junior high game, and we'll still plan to be at pretty much all of them again, and went to as much City League as I can. But one thing I do want to say about the City League, when I got here, and probably for years prior, there was a Robertsdale City League, the Bears, and the Loxley Bengals City League. And we have now combined into one league, the Central Baldwin Youth Football. And, my slogan or hashtag when I got here was strength and unity, because we all got to be together if this is going to work. And they have gone great. They're out there working right now. They're doing voluntary workouts with the city. And that's where it's going to start, because we need to have pride in this program. And if we have two of them over here, now we're all together. And we need to have pride, and we're all working toward the same goal.
So what's your coaching philosophy? If a kid want to come out and play for your program, what do you expect out of your kids?
Well, the first thing is hard work. I think that's the key of anything. I've been doing this a long time now, and I've coached a whole lot more average, players on the wide spectrum than SEC kids. But you can win a whole lot of games with those quote-unquote average players. If you have a lot of those kids, those 1-star, 2-star kids playing, you can beat a better team. But you've got to be in that together, and you've got to have the work ethic. You've got to have the work, and that's what I try to instill in them. And X's and O's are one thing, but X's and O's aren't winning any games. They'll win you some, but at the end of the day, you've got to execute what you do, and you've got to be strong enough, and you've got to have the willpower to execute those plays and move those guys in front of you, because I do believe football is a simple game complicated by coaches. I'm a firm believer of that, and that's why I put so much emphasis on the weight room. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like our kids have still not seen a full off season of my philosophy, because the virus kind of cut us short. I think it would have been that much better. We still had 9 weeks of work to go before this thing cut us short, or about that time. And, I can't wait for it to start back. I don't know what normal is going to be for us. We're going to play football. I'm confident in our state. I'm confident in our district that we are going to play football. And I'm ready to get back to it. I mean, I know everybody said how miserable they were and all that over the quarantine. No, you don't. I miss my kids. I miss working. I miss hollering. I missed all that, and I can't wait to get back into it. And we are going to play football. I'm confident that we will play football in some form. Something's going to be different, like everything's different these days. I don't know what that's going to be, but once they lay that out for us, we're going to play football, and I cannot wait to do it. And for these kids have worked too hard; they deserve it.
Well, I know you said something about weightlifting. I saw on your resume you was like the powerlifting coach, in past history. Strength is definitely one thing you need playing football on that gridiron. So, who do you guys have coming up on the schedule now? We consider this down in this area where you guys play the SEC West down here.
Yeah, it's rough. We have our division, which I'm not going to go all through our division. Everybody knows what that is. But our first game, and I'm really excited about this. We are getting Foley back on the schedule, and I think for both communities, that's a great game. To get us back. For me being here 1 year, a lot of people ask, "Hey, when are we going to play Foley again?" When are we going to play Foley again? So, for both communities, I think that's a great deal. And like you said, we play a very difficult schedule. We play a very difficult schedule. There's some great programs, great coaches, great athletes in those, and you can't be scared of that. And I feel like you said this was the SEC West of Alabama. Well, I feel like I've been there in Mississippi. The good teams don't. I mean, they're great, but it's nothing. I mean, I'm not being disrespectful. I just feel like I've seen as good of competition before. But the fact is, there's so many great teams, and it's just the great teams. I guess the players. The coaching is so good here, and there is no week off. There is no team on our schedule from non-conference to conference that you feel like that coach isn't going to be prepared. These coaches are going to bring their A game every week, and that's something I can say that to all these guys in this division, everybody does an outstanding job. Yes, we have great athletes, but the coaches here are absolutely outstanding, and it shows on the field.
Well, I can tell you this: the pandemic seemed to pretty much leveled the playing field. I would say for all teams across the state, because everybody's got to follow the exact same rules that the state is putting out, for safety reasons and all that nature.
Right.
Now,
Yeah, I think it definitely has. I mean, everybody's in the same boat, hadn't been able to see their kids and things like that.
now let's talk about now. You got a nice running back in Tevin Curry. Talk a little bit about that kid and talk about some of your other kids you got on your roster.
Well, Taven, I could have him on this interview with us, and I would have had to force words out of his mouth for him to talk to you. Taven is a man of very little words, but Taven's a great leader because Taven leads by example. You never have to worry about Taven if he's going to be here or not. You never have to worry about if Taven missed a rep or is going to get a rep. He's that kid. If he missed a rep, I missed a rep. I owe my punishment for missing my rep. He's that kid and a silent leader. You don't have to yell at Taven. Taven will get more upset if you just talk to him. That's how you motivate Taven. But he's definitely, everybody knows where number 8 is for us. And obviously he's going to be featured in our offense. That's not going to be a government secret that we want to get number 8 to football. And but Taven's great. We didn't lose very many seniors, but I had an interview the other day. They asked me how many returning starters I had, and I said we didn't have any returning starters because we don't. Okay, in my opinion, we don't. We're going to earn this spot every day. Taven Curry is probably going to be our starting running back, but if he don't get the job done, we're going to get somebody else in there, and that's what we've got to do is have competition in this. But we're looking at on the offensive side of the ball. We'll stay over there. We got a quarterback competition right now between a couple kids, and we got a senior in Grant Driver who's really taking a lot of snaps right now. Expect him to keep going with that. Obviously, Taven will be back there. Logan Wilson's another back in the backfield. Seth Allen, Jack Kite at some tight end receivers. So we got some there. And on our line, Caleb Thrash will be our senior. Been there, gives you everything he has. And we got a lot of sophomores and juniors that will be in that rotation. And, like you said, with the corona, even the playing field, we do have some of these kids that, it's hard to say these are going to be our guys. And we haven't seen anybody in pads since, the last season. A lot can change in that offseason. But defensively, we returned Dominic Settles at linebacker. I'm expecting a good thing out of him. Up front, we've made some changes up front and some personnel, so we'll find out what happens there. I got J. Ray Seen coming back in the secondary. And then a couple of things got to shake out. But, you ask me, who are go-to players, and my answer is I really don't know yet. I know in my head who I expect some things out of, but like I said, I have not seen – we only had 7 seniors on our football team last year, and I think 3 of them started. And, yeah, we were going to return a lot of people that started on the field. But just because they started last year – doesn't mean they're going to start this year. Doesn't mean they'll be in the same position. So, that's something we've really focused in our culture in the offseason. It's a competition each day. It is you might be the starter on week 1, but that don't mean you're going to be on week 2. And so that's something that our kids have done a great job of. They've competed. I think a few of them got mad at each other in this offseason, some competitions we did. But that's what it's about. This this is not a fun-loving game. I always tell people this is not a contact sport. This is a violent sport, and that's the way it needs to be played. And but like I said, with our culture, kids have bought in. You can't ask for a better kid that's at Robertsdale High School. I promise you, you're not going to find a better kid anywhere in the world than it's at Robertsdale High School, and they've bought in. I feel like they're buying into us as a program. We've got to take that next step. We've got to take that next step, and I'm telling you right now, we're knocking on the door. We're knocking on the door, but we got to quit knocking and we got to start kicking doors in.
Now, you said you had some new people on your staff, new coaches and stuff like that. Talk a little bit about those guys.
Well, one of them, a few of them, I haven't got all board approved yet, so I can't really say anything.
Right,
but one of them, we brought Mantel Casey over. He's going to work with us on defense, and he's done a great job. He played at Foley. Kids love him, doing a great job with that. And the other big change I made, actually moved a guy on our staff, a Robertsdale guy named Dakota Beaudry, from our high school staff to our junior high, be our head junior high coach. And I feel like we needed that. So many people, that junior high where the games are won. That's where they're won on Friday night, in my opinion. If you have a strong culture there, a strong guy there, we're speaking the same language at the high school they are over there, and we're vertically aligned in our expectations, that's only going to carry over. But yeah, we do have we've got 2 more guys. I'm just we are waiting on some board approval. I just can't say anything right now.
Anything you guys got going on at Robertsdale? Anything new, different that you got? Just even if it's away from football, anything you guys got going?
We don't have too many things new. We have a new volleyball coach, Megan Foy. She was on staff last year. They just started their workouts this month. That's our only new coach, and we will be announcing a new girls basketball coach after board approval. Get that done, and that'll be out to everybody. I think board meeting's tomorrow, so we've recommended somebody, and that'll be there. But we're excited about our athletics as a whole. Our baseball team was having a great run until the pandemic, and you hate it for those kids, and you hate it for especially the seniors last year. And but they do a great job there. And I was told a long time ago that in this business you don't chase money, you chase administration. And I believe Joe Sharp is the best you can ask for. And he is very athletic minded, and he has us best. He has our interest at best, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better.
Well, one more question, Coach. I've been asking a lot of coaches this, even college coaches. If you had a kid that's in their senior season, getting ready to go off to college to play whatever sport they're playing, in this case particularly football, what would you tell that kid?
Well, the first thing you got to do is they've got to be academic. They've got to be academically eligible before they do anything. There's all kind of things you can talk about sports, but if we don't have that ACT score, and that doesn't start your senior year, that starts as your freshman year, and I'll answer that question that pretty much you're asking right now. But if you're a kid and you want to be this SEC football player, and you wait till your senior year to get serious about your grades, it might be too late. And unfortunately, I've seen that over my years. Seen some kids that should be playing at some SEC schools but had to go junior college route because of grades. Nothing wrong with going to junior college to play football, but if you're an Alabama football player and you have to go to junior college because you didn't take care of business in the classroom, that's disappointing. But as far as a senior, these college coaches, we call them, they're all going to love them too, like we love them, but it's a business at that level, man. It's a business, and they want the best. They want the best because you think you're good at this level, and you are good at this level if you're getting recruited, but they're recruiting people just as good as you are. The work's just now starting when you get to that level. And I think some of these kids don't understand how much it takes to be a Division I, Power 5 college football player. And we brought some people in to talk to our kids to show how much it does take to be there. And that would be my advice. It's all about work. You can get anything you want in life, but it's all about how much you want to put in. You're going to get back what you put in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you had it right here. Robertsdale High School varsity coach, Kyle Stanford. Thanks for coming on the network, Coach.
Thank you. Have a good day.